Hi everyone, and welcome back to the GuideWell Insights Lounge. My name is Kate Warnock, and we're here on location at the Wyman Health Innovation Summit. And I have a favorite guest joining us right now, Mr. Mark Stryker. Mark, welcome.
Hi, good to see you as always.
Always having a pleasure with you here. Mark is the Vice President of Business Development for GuideWell Connect. All right, so Mark, you are out on the front lines every day talking to health plans as we approach the open enrollment season. What are some of the things that you're hearing them talk about? What are some of the concerns they might have?
Sure. Well, it's a very, very dynamic time, and that's a bit of an understatement.
Yeah.
You know, there's a fair bit of turmoil in a lot of the markets across the country. You see it in the news headlines every day. A lot of it's driven by the under 65 individual businesses. So there are a lot of plans with a lot of real situations and problems that they need to solve, and so. You know, it's not as much as it has been in previous years about, okay, let's get more clients, let's get more members, let's get more customers. Now it's much more about, okay, how do we take this business and do the right things for the membership while at the same time making it profitable? And so, like I said, these are real concerns out there.
You know, and that touches on the theme that is kind of the overarching theme here at the Wyman Health Innovation Summit, which is the consumer imperative. And we just heard this morning some of the keynotes talking about why engagement makes business sense. So your clients are obviously asking, how do we make ourselves more relevant to our consumers? What are some of the ways that GuideWell Connect is able to deliver on those requests?
Well, let me go forward a little bit, because you brought an interesting topic, because engagement is one of those terms out there that is, it's kind of like innovation in some ways, in that it is everywhere. It's a commonly used
buzzword
term,
sort of thing, yeah.
A buzzword, but there is almost no collective and cohesive understanding of what it actually means. And so I think that is one of the biggest issues that the industry faces is, what does engagement mean? Is it just having a conversation with somebody? Or is it actually getting something done with somebody and for somebody? You know, we tend to think in GuideWell Connect, in our world, that it's a little bit more of the latter. It's not just talking with somebody. It is actually working with them to have a positive outcome. Really down to the nuts and bolts of making sure they've got a good doctor, getting them to go to that doctor, making sure that they're in a good care program if they've got a condition. These are the key points of engagement that, to the point you just brought up, make business sense.
Right.
And it makes sense for the person. You know, this is where the opportunity for a win-win is there, to be able to work with a consumer to have a positive outcome that is positive for the health system as a whole. And so that's where we focus a lot of our time. You know, you had Eric Grossman on a few minutes ago. Eric's one of our partners. He's
right.
Forward-thinking organization. He's a great example. Blue Health Intelligence, BHI, that's another partner. Redpoint, another partner. And that's GuideWell Connect doing what you hear our enterprise CEO, Pat Garrity, talk about a lot, which is bringing people together to reimagine the future. And this is great, a great time to be doing those things. It's great partners to have, to take the best in clinical analytics out there, the big data equation around how do you find out what's important from a clinical perspective, and pair that with what we do, which is to take the consumer analytics and consumerism and use those two things together to have positive outcomes. And it's a big job, but it's a lot of fun.
You know, Mark, I remember talking with you even a couple years back about hyper-personalization.
Yes.
And, you know, again, maybe an early progenitor buzzword of engagement, but it seems to me like in this day and age, Connect has worked with those partners that really are making that hyper-personalization, you know, talking to the individual based on a wealth of knowledge about that person. You're able to nudge them, you know, with Next Health technologies, or, you know, deliver the right message at the right time, so that you really are changing that behavior. And really that's where the consumer does win. Who doesn't want to feel like they're supported and have the right tools available to them when they need it?
That's actually the key tenet of consumerism, right? There's a couple things, and my boss, Craig Thomas, talks a lot about this. You know, consumerism is the precept of different strokes for different folks. Different people like different things. Different people like to be communicated with in different ways. And so bringing that sensibility and understanding how to predict what that is when you're in a scenario where you've got a large consumer group that you may not have had direct interaction with before. That is absolutely key to be able to do this effectively. And as we go and now launch our formal member engagement service line, which is happening, right now. It's one of the most important things that we've done as an organization, as GuideWell Connect. I think it's going to have the most long-ranging impacts for the organization and for our clients, most importantly, and for their members. And I think that is going to be one of the keys for how businesses come together in the health spectrum to make positive change in the future by doing it in concert and with the people that are the ones that we serve at the end of the day.
And Terry Stone, she opened this morning, Terry Stone with Oliver Wyman, she's a partner and she's really putting on this event, gave her own personal anecdote about an experience with a sick child who, God forbid, got sick on a weekend when the doctor's office was closed, and just how, we have such a long way to go, but as you describe it, Mark, it seems like we really are putting the tools in place. We're making the right partnerships and collaborating with the right people to change that negative experience into a really positive encounter.
It's true, and there's so many things that go on out there about taking what's old and making it new again, because it's all the basics of the things that the consumer businesses have known for years about how to talk with people.
Right. All right, well, let's take a look ahead. What do you think is going to be happening in the next couple of years?
Yeah, so obviously there's we're probably a little bit more towards the beginning of the market turmoil than towards the end. Maybe we're in the middle. Who knows? But I think that there's probably still a ways to go to work some of that out.
We have an interesting political season that's
we
going
do,
to,
but at the end of the day, the things that we think about from a member engagement standpoint and understanding how to work with people in ways that they find the comfort in, that is going to transcend beyond just a single line of business, the Affordable Care Act or the under 65 or the over 65 or the group business. These things are applicable to every health consumer out there, which is everybody in the entire population.
Right.
So for us, we know that we're much closer to the beginning than we are to the end of that. So there's lots of work still to do, lots of work to do in carrying out the enterprise mission of helping people and communities achieve better health and convening folks to reimagine the future. So even for us in our specific niche on the member engagement side, there's so many people that we still need to bring together to move this forward quickly.
Right. Well, which is why you're here at the Oliver Wyman Health Innovation Summit. They do such a fantastic job of curating and cultivating the right kind of partners that we might see. Some different relationships that you can talk to us about next year.
Yeah, we will. And the hope is that as we continue to work with health plans out there, that the ones that are not where they need to be in some of these things, that they will get a little bit more proactive around saying, oh yeah, maybe we could use some help in this, and because that's one of the first things. Well,
as Sam Glick, another Oliver Wyman partner convening the summit, said, we're beyond the table stakes is no longer going to cut it.
That's right.
It's all about appealing to the emotional sense and really getting people to change their behaviors. So, Mark Stryker, always a delight to have you here at the GuideWell Insights Lounge. My name is Kate Warnock. We're going to be up with another guest in just a moment. Please keep watching.